Loddy and Mac on the SAC. That's cul-de-sac. Joined by Loddy, Angry Jay, the commish, and as always, the Don Father studio audience here. Back with us, Crocker and Bedell, Bristol Sideshow. We weren't here last week, guys. We were bit by the injury bug. We don't mess around with COVID. Knocked us out for a week. Multiple people down. We had to postpone our in-studio guest, none other than UFC fighter Parker Porter. We're going to delay that, but we will talk about the fight game a little bit in his stead. But great week in sports. Good week for the Yank.
How about the Sox?
Good week for the Sox. Oh, my God. They're so stupid.
You'll get nothing and like it.
This first segment brought to you by Skygazer Brewing. Check out their Instagram, by the way. We're on Instagram. Loddy _Mac_sports. Get on there, people. We're going to start out with our favorite topic, the New York Yankees. Hey, guys, what do you think about the week of the Yanks? Brian Cashman, Aaron Judge. What do you think about the headlines?
Thank God we have Hal Steinbrenner as an owner. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. Did anybody have any confidence in the cash clown? Because it wasn't getting done if it was him. It was Steinbrenner that pulled the trigger. He made the phone call. He talked to Judgy. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the years. We got our guy back, and the problem is we're still status quo, right? Rizzo and Judge came back, and we haven't added anything yet. So
Tommy Canley.
I like that addition.
I like Tommy, a little under the radar, but we need more sticks, and I know Angry Jay wants to get after it, so I'm going to let him speak real quick here.
Quick?
Yeah, so the Aaron Judge signing, I think we're all in agreement. We want him back. Love him. He is the face of the franchise.
He's our guy.
Right? He's this generation's Derek Jeter, non-Mattingly. You guys see today's comment by Cashman about...
Hal's the closer?
Yeah. We call him Mariano.
So why did we extend him for 4 years?
Yeah, that
then?
was my question. So we signed this...
Can I stop you for a second?
Joker. No.
Who's the closer?
He said no.
Don't be angry. Who's the closer?
Apparently, Hal Steinbrenner is not only the owner of the team, he's the closer of the team, according to Brian Cashman.
From Italy?
Pilot and a closer.
Yeah. So
isn't he in Italy? How did he close this?
So does every Yankee
wasn't even there.
Does every Yankee superstar end up hating Brian Cashman?
Jeter and Mattingly do.
Oh my God! This clown. He's such a he sucks at his job.
This guy sucks.
Did you hear his quote, Angry Jay?
I try not to listen to too much of it, but it's all over the place. Give me. What was it?
It was something to the effect, we are the pilot, but we're not ready to land the plane.
Yeah,
where does he come up with this crap?
Yeah, well, Hal likes to fly. He doesn't really like sports, but this guy, he just cost Hal $150 million. Right? They lowballed Judges last year, and people were complaining about it's a 9-year deal, and he's been criminally underpaid. I'm glad he's back, but as Loddy just said, we're the same team right now.
Angry Jay, underpaid?
He was underpaid the last couple of years for what he's done.
I know, but with arbitration, what was it, 22, 25, something like that?
No.
19, I think.
Yeah, they settled on 19. He wanted 20, and the Yankees, of course, couldn't give him the extra $1 million.
Do we really live in a world where $19 million a year is grossly underpaid?
Well, if Josh Donaldson's making $25 million.
Well, we can't compare that. That's all.
He's underpaid then. He's underpaid by standards.
How about the Padres coming in late at 10 for $400? I love that organization. They don't care.
Yeah.
I had kids yesterday that were 10, 12 years old say, how come they can spend so much? How come the Padres can just spend whatever they want? I can't even answer it. I guess because they want to, because they want to win. Commish, you almost became the commissioner. What do you think of that?
Well, I don't know about the Padres, but I know the Yankees couldn't have been any safer. That's what kind of bugs me about it. I'm glad Judge is back, but they took no risks. They bring Cashman back. They bring Boone back. Hal's doing this thing. Now he can just kind of wash his hands of it. Here we are. I got you, Judge. No risk at all.
I got you, Judge. I don't have a lot more money to spend. Imagine if Judge didn't go back to the Yanks and Cash had to work a little bit. None of us at this table.
I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see that.
Imagine the team he would have put together.
Imagine.
Nah.
My question to you guys is, like, why did it have to come down to this, though? Like, it come down to everybody sweating. Like, why couldn't he have been, like, we just realized he was a good player this year? Like, he couldn't have been re-signed last year?
And I think
for
we
a
talked,
much cheaper price,
We
by the
talked
way.
a month and a half ago that the judge was going to come out and say he's upset that Cashman let his the
And he
negotiations
did.
become public.
And he did.
The opening day press conference, turning the fans against him. Like, it's all coming out. Like I said, thank God we got Hal.
The closer. Enter Sandman.
Throw the cutter.
Now go get a starter in
Left fielder.
maybe an outfielder.
All right, so Don Father, sit tight for a second. We don't want to hear your judge stuff. We can't let it go unnoticed. We've been off the mic for 2 weeks. Mattingly, guys, your thoughts?
I mean, to tell you
Was
how
anyone
bad he sucks
shocked
at his
like I
job.
was?
No,
Great
we,
hire.
We asked him.
Don Father, we said wait.
We asked him to be a commentator on Yes. And he's like, nah, I think I'll just go coach. Like, what a loser! Like our general
In
manager.
the division too, by the way.
In a division, it's like pretty much the division rival at this point. I mean, outside of Glasnow coming back and Tampa being a much different squad going forward, like Baltimore, whatever. Sox have totally just what an embarrassment they've become. Let's shift gears.
AAA team, though.
Let's shift gears to the Paw Sox. Don Father, how do you feel about the Bogarts move?
We have Jeter Downs. Why do we need Bogarts? He's
Not
the
official
future.
yet.
Are you serious?
Not official yet.
Absolutely. We're going to
Mr. Bedell, are you
re-sign
listening to
Devers.
this?
We got Yoshida. He's a 29-year-old left-handed pull hitter who's used to playing in a 310-foot park.
Everybody
Going to
knows
the
all
Fenway.
about him. Yeah,
I think
sure.
he hit one out of McCabe Waters last week.
And we have a closer who's past his prime with an ERA about 4. I mean, what is not to be happy about if you're a Red Sox fan?
Mookie Betts,
Betts, Benintendi,
Lester.
probably Bogarts, because that is not official yet. Angry Jay, just fill me in on that. And
Don Father, let me ask you something.
What's that?
probably physical and stuff like that.
Devers, do you have any confidence now?
Yeah,
You do.
now I do.
Does Devers want to stay there, though, is the thing.
The money's right. He's going to stay. Judge didn't want to stay in New York.
He's
but
going to
the money
get
was
the
right.
he's going to get the money no matter where.
Mr. Bedell, what do you think about losing Bogarts?
It's a travesty. It's absolutely terrible. But we saw it with Lester. We've seen this in the past with this organization. They're
So you're
more-
down on them.
Absolutely. They're more about the bottom line at this point, ever since 2018.
Go
The
Liverpool.
bottom,
Johnny
Oh, yeah, they just
Johnny
spent
Lester.
$900 million to buy the Penguins.
Is it true that LeBron James is part of that ownership group now?
Absolutely.
The Yankees still have Donaldson and Hicks.
Let's move on.
All right, we're good.
Kamish, what do you think about the Sox?
Well, I like the closer they brought in. I mean, he's going to come in there and just lock it down in the ninth inning, so they should be all set there. Then get a lead late in the game. They should be fine. Other than that, I think the Sox are doing great.
I couldn't agree with you more, Commish.
Solid
Same
50,
page.
solid
Don
50 to
Father
51,
can't wait for the
55 win
NBA
season.
draft in June.
Honestly, like moving away from hot stove in a few weeks once the dust settles here, we might have to do one Yankee show and just focus on the Red Sox. I can't believe what they've done to this franchise. They've let it go very quickly. I mean, it's an embarrassment, and that they'll be the worst team in that division, and I think by far. And I'm not saying it because I hate them and all that kind of like kid stuff. They're an embarrassment.
I love them, and I'm embarrassed to be a fan right now.
I love
They're
it. I love it.
Terrible.
Bobby Mack, you like what the Mets did to replace DeGrom, Verlander, and Quintana enough for you?
Losing Walker, I think, is not great for them. The pending loss of Nimmo, I don't think is great for them. I got a question about that in a minute, guys. But no, I don't think they've done enough. They're too old. Those guys did share a dugout before, though, Scherzer and Verlander, and I'm loving that reunion. I'm going to be happy for Mets fans for a little bit during the summer. There's no way they're going to get through the dog days and onto the playoffs with that geriatric crew. But these other guys that are being signed.
Trey Turner,
The
11
Japanese
for
player,
300.
$90 million. Trey, all that money. Bogarts, the Padres are just spending. There's more guys to come with Swanson and Correa. Bell went. Except for Judgy, it seemed like we were in the Rose Bowl watching these floats go by and like not getting any of them. But at least we got our guy, and we can hang our hat on our franchise letting us root for our guy.
Where's Correa going? What do you guys think?
Dodgers said they don't want him because he was part of the cheating scandal, which I was shocked.
Yes.
You want him
Where
in
he ends up.
pinstripes? Do we want him in pinstripes?
100% not.
No.
Angry Jay
Okay.
is just wants to win. I see a look on his face says maybe.
I'm not passing up like good players. Like we don't have enough of them.
We got the kids. We got to play the kids.
Well, I mean, if Brian Cashman's the guy developing them, what did we just look at from 2017?
Well, Correa would only play 3 of every 5 days to give him appropriate rest.
Well, they're going to do that with whoever they have, so.
I mean, look at the middle of the Padres order right now. Machado, Bogarts, Tatis, and Soto.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I wonder if Tatis is going to be around, though. I don't know. They're spending a lot of money. They got to make up for it somehow.
How about the Giants trying to please their fans by losing out on that one big chip and bringing in a middle infielder? Loddy, you feeling that?
No.
What do you got?
They missed out on Judge. So, I mean, they're not happy right now. They thought they had him at 9 for 360 until Hal swooped in.
Can the Angels do it?
Yeah. How about John Heyman with his tweet?
Oh,
Yes,
my
stay
goodness.
hot, stay hot, John. Stay hot.
Who was hotter, Cash or John?
Heyman took the crown for about 3 or 4 minutes.
He took over the Stay Hot crowd?
That's the
For
problem
about-
with Twitter
for about
now.
4
It's
minutes.
not about being right. It's about being first.
being
You know?
first.
It's about being hot.
Staying hot and being hot, yes.
Would you rather be hot or stay hot?
Stay hot. You got to get hot to stay hot.
All right. I like it.
Consistency.
All right, moving on. We're going to talk a little pugilism. My co-hosts have no idea what that means other than the commish, who's a man of many words, journalist extraordinaire. The Don Father just looked like pugilist. He's typing into his Google now.
Googling.
It'll show him.
I've never seen his thumbs work so fast in my life.
PWEJ Puja. What?
He thinks he's going to play second base next year.
That means
Yeah,
fight.
Johnny Pugilism is very good. He's got good range.
First of all, I saw Young Guns, so I know what pugilist means. Okay?
Oh, look at you.
What a horrific movie.
Boxing movie?
Angry. I thought you were a movie guy. I think that's an all-time classic.
That's terrible.
Navajo. So we're going to talk pugilism. That means boxing. We're going to talk one-on-one combat, mixing it up in the ring. Our Mount Rushmore segment this week is going to be boxers since 1980 to present. Now, young fans, you've lost the sport of boxing. You see it occasionally. They hype up a fighter or two, Canelo, blah, blah, blah. We had it made. We sat there and watched with our fathers. We ate ice cream. We watched. We got to go late to church on Saturday for the wide world of sports. We talked about it. We got to hang out with our friends and do the pay-per-views when it was first a thing. We kind of got we got it all with boxing, and you people aren't getting it. I know you get the pay-per-view with UFC, but you know that's a whole different ballgame. So in the interest of sportsmanship, I'm gonna go first.
80s
Shocker.
golden age of boxing, right?
But it's a punishment for me to go first because pound for pound, the best boxer we've seen is a guy that I hate. I hate looking at him. I hate listening to him talk. I hate the way he behaves and throws his money around. I don't like anything about him except for the fact that he could not and would not and will not ever be beat. And that's Floyd Mayweather Jr.
15-0.
Loddy, you're up.
I like the Floyd, but again, like I said, I thought 80s were the golden age of boxing as I knew it. So I'll defer to that decade, and I'll go Roberto Duran.
Hands of stone or is it fist of stone? What's his name?
No mas to Sugar Ray. Was
All
it the
right.
Sugar Ray?
Yeah.
So it's amazing that getting the third pick in this thing, and I'm going to end up with the best fighter.
Oh, jeez, this guy.
So this Mayweather pick, like, hard to argue with the record, but he fought, and like, come on, like, fight somebody in their prime, like, and wow. So I'm just going to take the best fighter of the 80s, and his name is Sugar Ray Leonard, a gold medalist, 36-3-1 with 25 knockouts, and I'll tell you why I think
It's a
he was the best
showboat.
fighter. He was a showboat, but he beat Hagler, he beat Hearns, and he beat Duran all in the 80s when they were all in their prime, unlike Mayweather, who doesn't fight anybody
He
in his
did.
prime.
Didn't those guys seem just tougher and stronger
They
than
were.
him? And he just outboxed them. He out athletic them.
Did he take down John the Beast Mugabe?
I don't think he fought him.
Okay, well he wouldn't have. He's a showboat. All right, what was his sponsor? What's
Sprite.
No. Sports company like the
Pony?
Franklin.
Oh, that's right. It's a good call, yeah.
Father.
I'm going with the star of the Hangover series, Iron Mike Tyson.
That's a good.
I broke my back, spinal,
50-6, 44 knockouts, 19 in a row. At their prime, nobody was more scary than Tyson.
Nice guy.
He should have been better though too, right? Wow, wasted talent.
I'm going to surprise you guys here, I think. My pick is Big George Foreman.
I like it.
A heavyweight,
I got him.
different decades, rumble in the jungle, comes back selling his grills,
Entrepreneur. Yep.
comes back. Big George Foreman's my pick.
I like
Hey,
it.
I'm
get
throwing,
two,
I'm
Mitch.
throwing with Johnny's pick there. He won the heavyweight title when he was 25, and he won it again when he was 45. That's pretty
And he
impressive.
named all of his sons George,
And he
which
named
is
all-
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get away with that?
One heck of a grill, too.
Oh yeah, no fat in that thing. It just you catch it in that little thing, that little bin. Commish, just so everybody knows at home, sports journalist extraordinaire Jonathan Warren Pettit III did not only just apply to be Major League Baseball commissioner, he also mixed it up in the ring after doing an investigative report with some Meriden
It was
boxing
the Silver
club.
City Boxing Club. I joined the club for a year and then had one fight. Knocked
How'd
the guy
you do?
down. I knocked him down.
Did you?
I did.
You get a belt for that?
You still
I did
got your
not.
headgear at home?
No, I don't have the headgear, but I do have a nice article on the experience. It was a George Plimpton
awesome.
kind of immersive journalism type of thing. It
Were
was
you
very
wearing
fun.
those glasses during the bout?
I was not. These are do have some tape on them, but they weren't the ones I was wearing. I'm
Looks
gonna
like-
pick now that I get to pick two with my glasses on. I'm gonna go with Roy Jones.
I like the one.
Can't be touched.
No, defensive boxer, offensive boxer, could do everything. Lightning fast, just an immortal.
Can't be touched.
Boxer of the 90s, too.
Also a heck of a MTV Jam basketball player.
Yep.
Untucked shirt, Jack and threes. Go ahead, Don Father.
I am going to go. He's a little older, but he's still in the 80s with a marvelous Marvin Hagler. 62 and 3 with
Where's he
52
from?
KOs.
Where's he from?
Massachusetts.
Where?
Brockton,
Brockton,
Mass.
yeah.
Brockton,
Brockton.
Mass.
Pretty good boxing city, huh?
Tough city.
Angry? This is Angry's Mount Rushmore boxing. He just wants to punch somebody. Look at him.
I know. I don't even want to be across from
these
him right
guys,
now.
these
Would you
guys
move,
got
move
me.
my
These-
seat?
Listen, these guys got me in back-to-back picks. Those are my two guys. All right, I'll go with a favorite of mine in the 90s, the real deal, Evander Holyfield, 44, 10-2, 24 knockouts, the only guy to win the cruiserweight crown and the heavyweight crown, and has what is considered the biggest upset of all time in beating Mike Tyson.
Angry? I got to tell you this, and I mean this. I ain't even trying to hear that. I'm speaking for Evander because he got his
We're all
ear bit
ears here.
off.
We're all
Yeah, he had
ears.
his ear bit off. But anyway, Loddy.
I'm sticking with a guy again, predominantly late 70s, or he came up in the 70s, but predominantly in the 80s. I'm going with the Hitman Hearns. He was a brawler. All these, he never smiled. Like he wasn't dancing. Like he was into it. He was a fighter. He was a brawler. He was a boxer. So I'm going Hitman.
Nickname?
The Hitman?
Yeah.
The Hitman. Yeah.
See, confused them.
I thought that was Don Mattingly.
Yeah,
That's a
great
good
call,
caller.
buddy. Great call, Commish. Boy, the Commish. Baseball's never too far from the brain.
That's a Blue Jays bench coach?
Yes, that is.
62 and 7 all time. Out of the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao. Nickname?
Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
Fighter of the decade in the 2000s.
Yeah, can't dispute that. And then another guy I have to take just because I used to like his entrance to the ring with his that hood on and his manager lady there and the music and the people in the background with like weapons, but none other than Bernard, the executioner,
X. Put up your X's.
Hopkins.
I like Hopkins. This next guy, I remember watching, and he felt bad because he didn't want to fight this guy. He didn't want to hurt this guy. But do you guys remember Larry Holmes?
Yes.
Like he just
Underrated.
He was just a
underrated champ.
Underrated champ.
Larry Holmes punched me
just-
and kicked me. Who said that?
Mitch Green.
Mitch Blood
Mitch
Green.
Blood Green. I remember that.
with
Was
the
that
nickname Blood.
Yeah.
With was that when he flew off the?
He jumped off the car.
horn of the car?
That was
Oh,
no.
my
That
God.
was Holmes going off the top
That was
rope.
home.
With the sweatsuit on.
And
He
cowboy
had,
boots.
he had the Puma sweatsuit on, but I'm going Larry Holmes.
He looked like Vito from The Sopranos with that sweatsuit on.
I love Larry Holmes.
We're in round 3 here.
What do you got, Angry Jay?
I'm going to go with the guy who won 107 career fights, with 80 knockouts.
Chavez?
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Unreal.
It's, unreal.
How many fights?
He's 107 wins, 6 losses,
That guy,
2 draws, 88 knockouts.
He
I
fought.
apologize.
He fought every other week. That guy. Wow,
Different-
that's a lot of
different
fights.
era.
Yeah, different era. You wanted to get paid, right? You fought.
Yeah, right.
All right. My next boxer, a 41-2, 32 knockouts. I am going with Lennox Lewis.
Not an exciting fighter, but a good fighter. Some tremendous bouts.
Big.
Anyone know where he lives these days?
Still in England,
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn. I'm on the clock. I got 2, right? I'm going to go with Sweet Pea. Pernell
Pernell.
Whitaker. Gold medalist. Undisputed lightweight champion. Sweet Pea. For my next one, I'm going to throw a curveball at you guys. We are watching one of the
Baseball.
greatest heavyweights of all time right now. And Tyson Fury.
I'll
Mental
disagree
health.
there.
Overcomes a knockout, gets off the canvas. 34-0-1. Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury.
Whoa, Kamish,
Love it.
meaning it. You can tell Kamish has been in the ring. Angry Jay, you ever been in the ring?
I've been in the ring once.
Do you wish you could be in more often with your angriness?
No, tell us the
Not
story.
now.
What's the story?
Not
YMCA, right?
I was the YMCA boxer of the week when I was 7. Knocked out a 9-year-old.
What YMCA, like Burlington?
No, I was Waterbury.
Ooh, the dirty.
From the dirty.
That's legit.
That's a heavyweight
I thought it was
championship
like
right there.
Cheshire or something like
I
that.
just kid kind of like poked me in the eye. and
that
I-
Cheshire
Golden Glove.
there was no boxing. There was all swinging.
He poked you in the eye.
Wilton Golden
The
Gloves.
Greenwich CYO League.
Don Father.
All right, I'm going to go with 58-2-2, 39 knockouts, Canelo Alvarez.
Whoa.
You sound like you're announcing
I know.
the fighter before it.
Hey, you see Mills Lane died, by the way?
I did.
Not
Yeah.
in boxing? That's it.
He was 90 or 80. Like,
Did some great fights, too.
boy,
Let's get it on.
He was in the
that was
Holyfield Tyson
When he bit his ear. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Remember
did
that.
do that one. He was also a boxer. You know that, right?
Yes.
And was he on the silver screen at all?
I don't know, but he was in those MTV claymation fights.
The bloodbath or whatever that was.
Oh, you know what else he did?
Celebrity Deathmatch. That's what
That's
it
what
was.
it was.
Didn't he have a show where he was the judge?
He might
Like a
have.
Judge
He might
Wagner,
have.
but it
Yeah.
was Judge
Judge
Mills
Judy
Lane?
kinda, yeah.
He might
No, I
have.
think he did. Listeners, need comments on that. Let's get it on.
People's
Don Father.
Angry Jay.
Oh, you already went.
You're up, brother.
I'm up. All right. I'm going to take a guy who I wasn't actually a huge fan of, but he was a terrific fighter. He actually promotes fights now. Gold medalist
Not the Golden Boy.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Ugh.
Terrific fighter.
Ugh.
Not a big fan either.
No, Dana White, not a big fan either, is he?
Ugh.
No, he's not.
I'm gonna give you guys one that again, this was one of those guys that just fought for a career, for a payday. He was another brawler, under the radar, underrated. Alexis Arguello.
Yeah.
You guys like that one?
Yeah,
like
that's
that
a good one.
80-8, buddy. 80-8.
I don't need the numbers. I just know he fought a lot, and it was like once a month he was out there.
Remember
Did we not
watching
mention
him?
Larry Holmes? Did we
Yeah.
mention him? Good, yeah.
I got him.
Aaron,
Good.
you remember the Aaron Pryor Alexis Arguello fight?
When they the mixture or whatever in the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had like a
That's
steroid
what-
mixture in the
yeah,
corner. It's the
that's-
first time I ever heard of it.
Yeah, it was like it went like 14, 15 rounds too. That's when they actually went. They fought like men. You close it out.
You guys are gonna laugh at this. I'm
Shocker.
taking Michael Spinks.
Oh my God.
I remember Leon, I think, was on the cover of Sports Illustrated with like a half a tooth or a half a mouth or something like that. And I'm like, this guy's tough. And he fought somebody good, maybe Muhammad.
He beat.
Did he beat? He beat
him.
Muhammad.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, his younger brother comes on the scene. He looked more athletic, quicker. And I believe he only had one loss. And was it to Tyson?
Yep.
I think it lasted what?
90 seconds.
20,
91.
how much?
91.
Oh, I was going to say even less than that. He crawled back to his corner. He didn't even want to come out. I felt bad for him. I remember watching that fight.
So there's a bunch of other guys I wanted to. Well, let me close it out first, and I'm going to be laughed at for this. I don't think he's one of the top 25 from this era, but I would have watched him no matter what. When Prince Nassim Hamed came out after him, he reminded me of a smaller version of this guy. He was just a showboat, and to me, fun to watch. I believe his son actually became a fighter too, but the macho man of boxing, Hector Macho Camacho.
He was an entertainer.
Yeah, and I rooted for him. I didn't know any better, and he did win. So I take him. Guys, we're missing guys like Tito Trinidad, Eric Morales, guys like that.
Sugar Shane Mosley.
Sugar Shane
James
Mosley.
Toney, Aaron Pryor.
Marco Antonio Barrera.
There's one other one, a guy that fights now, Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, we mentioned him.
he's
I think
a
somebody
stud.
took him.
And, and let's not forget Gotti and Ward too for some of the wars they put on.
Jeez. Some of the best. So I took Floyd Mayweather, Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao, Bernard the Executioner, Hopkins, Michael Spinks, Hector Macho Camacho. Who'd you have?
I went Sugar Ray, Leonard, Evander Holyfield, Oscar De La Hoya, and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Dawnfather took Mike Tyson, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Canelo Alvarez, and Lennox Lewis.
Loss. Crazy.
All I
one.
know is I took Tyson Fury.
No, he took George
Some
Foreman.
of us
took
don't.
George
Some of
Foreman,
us
of
don't
course.
write down our picks. I had Roberto Duran, Thomas Hearns, Arguello, and Larry Holmes. I definitely won that segment.
Yeah, another dub for
Everybody
me.
claims it.
Another dub for me with Camacho. Moving on to the Who'd You Rather long topic of the week. It is college hoop time. This is a great time of year. Outside of not having baseball every night, we do have hot stove, but on top of that, college football playoff getting amped up. We've got other bowl games. NFL playoffs taking shape. How about them Cowboys? We've got college hoops getting into conference play. So being in the Big East, where we're from, talking old Big East, which we love, we're going to go with two of the most prominent coaches that have ever walked the Big East sidelines and recruited all over the world, and that'd be Syracuse's Jim Boeheim and University of Connecticut's the Hooner, Jim Calhoun.
JC.
Get some facts and come back and see me.
The commish worked as a member of the Horde. He was close to Coach Calhoun just because he got to talk to him a lot, and he also was needed to cross paths with Coach Boeheim on occasion when we would play the Orangemen. So,
I'm not the only one, but I've been yelled at by both those guys.
well, let's go.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. And
I took
can I
Emeka
start?
Okafor and Karan Butler.
They're not bad. Listen, I want to say JC all day. What he did at UConn is the best building job ever. And I really thought that Jim Boeheim had no shot against him. But looking at Boeheim's, he's got 1,000 wins. He started coaching at Syracuse in 1976.
Compiler.
But that's an unbelievable run. You never think. I think he may be past his time right now, but
You
he's
think?
had a good career. One national championship, but
So which side are you taking? Because I couldn't see which side
I'm
of the
thinking-
fence you fell off of. Right
no,
there.
I'll tell you who I'm thinking right now. Jim Calhoun all day. 4
Wow,
Final Fours,
the
3
commi-
national
commission's fired
championships.
up.
Switzerland over here.
Wow, he is.
We got
he's fired
Switzerland
up.
too over here.
I'm not
Fidel.
Switzerland.
Believe me,
Me-
I bleed blue.
Me picking Boeheim, that's like me saying what Boggs is better than Mattingly with you guys at Yankee Stadium right now. But I'm going Jimmy Boeheim because he's clearly a better coach. I didn't say he's a better recruiter. I said he's a better coach. He's got a better head-to-head record. Who's won more head-to-head? Boeheim's got more. He's got more Final Four appearances. Boeheim's got more.
Nice zone.
I don't.
Threes.
Exactly.
I don't care about any of that stuff. You guys can go over the stats all you want. I just remember as a young kid following UConn basketball in the early '80s with Don Perno, and their big guy to go watch was Earl Kelly. So what Calhoun did in like a cow town, their games were at the field house with 4,000 people, and what he turned that program into in a very, very short period of time with that dream season that really kind of catapulted them. And like you guys said, the 3 national championships, the 4 Final Fours. What he did is one of the best 5 coaching jobs in college basketball history, I believe, because UConn was nothing until he got there.
Well done, Angry Jay.
Listen, we had talked about this before on a couple podcasts ago. But I got nothing to add there other than I think it is the best building job ever. Now you could say, John Wooden. It was a much different era, but I mean, again, if anybody saw the field house where they played at, and what they have now at UConn with their practice
The
court,
Worth Center.
yeah, it's unbelievable with the Gampel and the XL Center, and part of the horde and like how many people follow him and how big UConn is to this state. Like the job Jim Calhoun did is the greatest building job in college basketball.
So
history.
Calhoun built the XL Center too? I mean, that wasn't there before?
Pretty much.
For concerts? It
Well, the
was just
Civic Center was
that for
getting
UConn?
5,000
Come on.
people at a game before he got there.
So, yeah.
The downfall goes the Whalers jersey on, by the way. Hey, Jay, I remember in the 90s we were watching UConn saying, if they could ever get to a Final Four, what would that be like for the state? We got there 4 times with Calhoun.
Yeah.
Never thought that would happen.
Yep. 3 national
And to be
titles.
honest with
And
you,
the state's still
to
bankrupt.
be honest with you, the year after he was, kind of shown the door, his team wins it.
Yeah, all
So,
his guys.
basically-
Ollie coached him.
Basically, he's been to 5-1-4. Boeheim wins the one with a one and done Carmelo, and I want to segue to Carmelo for a second. The Hooners NBA guys are light years ahead of the Syracuse NBA guys. You can say what you want about Carmelo Anthony putting the ball in the basket, blah blah blah. We've had so many more, and some of the Syracuse guys you thought would be good, they didn't really pan out. I want to end it on this. And Angry Jay said about the 2-3 zone, and it's kind of annoying, but he recruits to it with those long athletes. That's his thing. Works for him. Not exactly the most exciting way to get after it in basketball. And everyone hires guys, and they backfire on them here and there. But
That's 'cause they're
and I
ready
hate
for
to
them
go.
leave.
I hate to go here.
Say it, man.
Bernie Fine.
What are you trying to say? What about
That
him?
was on his
Boeheim's
watch.
a loser.
Yeah. I mean, no one's,
Hey, I'm not saying
no
he's not
one's
a
going
good-
to
I'm not
dispute
saying
that. I didn't know that's
he's
where you
not
were
a good
going.
coach.
He's a
But, like, if
loser.
you're
What are we going to do
comparing
next week?
We're comparing
Paterno and
Calhoun.
Boeheim?
We're comparing
Disgusting.
Calhoun and Boeheim. Like he's a terrific coach.
I took the
They-
Hooner.
Hey,
You're angry. I took the Hooner.
I'm taking.
Croc, Benel, what do you think?
I think it's a no-brainer. I got to go Calhoun on this one. I hate to bring it up, but we went back to that word compiler that we used last segment, and I think Boeheim's doing exactly that right now, compiling those W's.
Back to Mac's point about, I agree with you that UConn's had much better NBA talent because Boeheim gets them to peak when they're playing for him. Calhoun's players peaked once they got to the NBA. Boeheim's players peak when they're in college. He recruits for college, not for the NBA.
You know who peaked under him? Mike Hopkins as a head coach. You know where he is? University of Washington. Because they told him he was the next going to be the next coach for 15 years.
Had to
Can you
stay for
step
Buddy to go
aside, old
through.
man?
Buddy
Go
had to go
golf.
through.
Go cheat at golf, like Calhoun says.
Who's the next Syracuse coach? Jerry Mack?
It's going to have to be because Hopkins was that guy. and
Red
they-
Autry?
Is he on the staff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I got a better question. Has he been born yet?
Croc, but what would your buddy Nelson say about this one?
Where is Nelly?
100% Boeheim for Nelly.
Yeah,
No,
well,
no,
whatever.
He's an Orangeman. What is he?
Listen, Boeheim's a great coach. If you're comparing it to, like, Calhoun's just better. There.
Head-to-head record, 29-27. Boeheim advantage.
Based on those 2 games, he said, all right.
That's it.
He's 2 games better.
He's not a compiler. He's got a better record.
Statistically significant.
We love you, Don. We love you, Don Father.
Dropping the mic on the Don Father here. It's the Hooner all day. It doesn't matter if we're in Connecticut or
Go
upstate New
Sox,
York.
go Orange.
Oh, tough week for the father. Let's do some other Hoosier rathers, guys. Shortstops. Tatis or Turner? Go.
Turner, because I don't think Tatis is a shortstop anymore.
I love Trey Turner's
Oh, you might be
all-around ability. Tatis rubbed me the wrong way.
I say Turner, just a ball player. Tatis, some of the antics I could do without.
It's shortstop Turner. I'm just taking straight up. I want Tatis instead.
I want Tatis to stick, but he is kind of a loser. I will say Tatis in
And
the
say
end.
that again, Mac. Say that again. You want what?
I want him to hit the baseball. Next, as a Yankee fan, this one interests me big time. Benintendi, Nimmo.
Benintendi.
I have a feeling we're getting one.
I'm not paying Nimmo $200 million.
No, Benny. I take Benny all day. I like what he does.
Benny all day.
I'm not going to go based on contract and who's going to get what. I think actually Nimmo's a better player. Speed, well, they both make contact, but I feel like Nimmo's a really nice leadoff hitter that I would like to have on my team.
I think Nimmo would bring some more excitement to the Stade, and that's why I would take him. And a little bit salty on Benintendi coming here to save us and being that contact guy we needed. And I mean, he got hurt. I get it, but we kind of needed him to be on the team. That's why we went out and got him. I think Nimmo would want to. He's been in New York. I think he wants to. He's succeeded in New York. I think he wants to go there and contribute to a winner, and he knows he can't do it over there in Flushing. All right,
You
next
guys,
one.
you guys do know he'll hit like 7th on our team if we do sign him.
You don't
You're
think
so
you don't think
angry.
he'd lead off?
Someone,
Who's going to lead off for the Yankees in 2023?
Whoever
Judge?
the head nerd, that changes every game. What do you guys watch the games too? Oh, jeez.
I do, but I
Whoever
think,
Jay's
Eli
leading off.
Fishman,
Nimmo's
whoever
leading
Eli
off.
Fishman pulls out of his algebra problem, that's who leads off.
I think Nimmo would be the leadoff guy if he went there.
Goodwill Hunting. Nimmo leads off. All right.
I'd rather have Goodwill Hunting lead off.
Well, Goodwill Hunting's filling out the lineup every night. So,
It's not your fault.
serious question. Young receivers, same division. A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb. Go.
Oh, jeez. Angry Jay, you go first.
Layup. A.J. Brown. 9 touchdowns.
A.J. Brown.
AJ.
It's a sweep.
Yeah, wait until
Are you serious?
wait till Bobby Mack talks though.
Our guy's a football player. Your guy's a showboat. He's good, but he's a showboat.
Did he take Sugar Ray Leonard as the best boxer?
He's a winner.
Oh, my goodness.
Winner. I picked
so
winners.
CD. He's going to win a Super Bowl.
In second place.
There's no second place in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Everybody's record 0-0. Once you get in, we're in.
You got to get there.
We're in.
Yeah.
All right, anyway. If you were the Cowboy skipper, if you were the owner, whoever's pulling the strings, who gets the maximum amount of carries the rest of the way here? Pollard or Zeke?
Powered all day.
I'd sell my shirt to the Eagles and become a winner.
Pick one, Angry.
Miles Sanders isn't in the.
Zeke
This
or Pollard?
this guy's impossible.
I'm not picking.
over here.
I'm not picking one of those guys.
You have to pick one. You
No,
can't
I'm
go
not.
on the rest
I'm
of them.
not doing it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Pollard.
I'll take Pollard as well.
pick one.
I'll pick Elliott just so we can hit him a few more times.
Bobby Mack. Who you like there? I mean, you watch every single down of that team.
Haven't liked Zeke for 2-3 years. He got big. He got slow. Do I dislike him overall? No, he's given us some good times. The guy that gets us to the promised land is Pollard. Let's go back to receiver.
Wow, he gets you to the promised
What, we can
land.
talk about college
Oh.
receivers now too? Jay
Oh.
Novacek.
We're
What-
definitely going to win the. Okay, whatever. All right, let's go back to receivers. Let's get off the Cowboys. We all know Tyreek Hill, Diggs. Gun to your head. Who do you take? Let's go quickly.
Diggs. I love Diggs.
I'll take Tyreek Hill.
Diggs.
Me too. Thanks.
Take Hill. Adams or Jefferson? I'm sorry. Let's get in there.
Jefferson.
Adams, best wide receiver in football.
Adams, unguardable.
Jefferson.
Adams.
Bedell says Jefferson.
Was that George Jefferson?
Wheezy.
Moving on up.
I was just about to say, I'm going to say Jefferson. I was going to ask you, is Jefferson by far the best wide receiver in football?
No.
How
Really?
about this year though?
I mean, straight
This-
up,
just
straight up
this year.
numbers. But no, he's gotten shut down.
No.
He can get shut down. Darius Slay shut him down to 2 catches for like 18 yards. Nobody shuts Devontae Adams down.
Is this the fantasy segment? What's going on here?
No, the fantasy segment's like an hour and a half long.
Actually, Hill, Jefferson, and Adams would be the 3 guys I would say are the best, and I would still pick Adams first.
Okay.
A.J. Brown, close 4th.
Tell you what, you can't go wrong with any of those receivers we brought up. 6 guys, 6 studs.
Do we have any Steeler questions for
No.
Crocker?
No.
Appreciate that.
All right, guys.
Down here.
You get one experience. You pick the year. It has to be since college football playoff with 4 teams. You get to go, pick your seat. Let's call it 50-yard line or center court. You get to go to all 3 college football playoff games or all 3 Final Four games. Go.
I'm a basketball guy. It's easy for me. Final 4.
It's easy for me too. CFP.
You down with CFP?
You know me.
There's some bad jokes going around tonight.
Dad jokes galore tonight.
Pick one.
Final Four all the way.
Yeah, I've never been to a Final Four. I got to get there.
I got to go Final Four myself. Let's put yourself in some cleats here and sneakers. Would you rather, one time in your life, hit a walk-off dinger in the big leagues, can be for your favorite team or not, or hit a buzzer beater in the NBA for your favorite team or not? One time you get to walk it off. Pick one.
Bomb.
I'm going with the dinger because you don't have to run fast.
I gotta agree with Commish. Same reasoning. Dinger.
50,000 people cheering you as you run the bases. Got to be a great feeling.
Well, it depends. If you're at
10,000.
Fenway, it's like
Well,
15,000.
Fenway only seats 9,000, so you're right.
And the ball only went 280 feet.
I'll go jumper just to be different. Tough call, though.
Just because of the inventive bat flip you could do, and then the popping of the chain, I gotta go dinger.
I would do the Chitwood, though. I would just stand there.
Ooh, 20 seconds to get the first commission.
Yeah, that's what it took.
Ruben Sierra, 95 wild card.
All right, you're at the Stade this year, any day, probably going to the World Series, as we know, with the Judgy signing. You have no money left, but somebody's going to hand you either a Stade pretzel or a hot dog. Go.
Inside or outside the stadium? Inside? Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Two really bad choices. If it's inside, I'll go dog.
Hot dogs suck. I'm pretzel all day.
Dog.
I'm trying to figure out which one's saltier, one of those hot dogs or a pretzel. I'm gonna say, God, this is like the Burger King McDonald's. I'm gonna go with the hot dog, but pretzel's pretty close.
You got to get the hot dog from the vendor, though, that's been
Outside,
sweating all
that's
day.
right.
That's been sweating
well, that's
all
what he said.
day.
Inside out was definitely
Yeah.
You also have to get the pretzel from the vendor because they could leave it on the coals, crisp that thing up. Angry Jay, do you remember where my pretzel went after Mattingly's home run?
somewhere near shortstop.
Oh, that was Kirk King's.
No, that was another one. That one had mustard on it, but the Mattingly's didn't.
It went close to the right.
You like to throw pretzels, huh?
Jay Boone on right field.
I'm taking a hot dog in the stadium. All right. You get to watch one. You got 2 hours. New Jack City, Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
I've seen neither. I don't plan on ever watching one of those terrible movies.
They're awesome. You're an idiot.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
New Jack City.
Easy. Boys in the Hood.
Is that a sports question or
I'll go Boys in the Hood. I got another movie question.
who was in New Jack City?
Wesley
Wesley Snipes, dude.
Oh boy,
He was a great hitter in The Fan.
Was Chris Rock in that?
He was.
he was great in
Major League.
Major League too.
But he was,
bases.
he was in the fan, though, with De Niro. Yeah, you're right.
That's
Bobby! Bobby!
All right, let's talk athletes who starred in movies. And I hope you've seen these. I mean, you guys got to spend more time watching TV. But Stone Cold starring, anyone know? Brian Bosworth.
Oh, yeah.
Or Ray Allen and He Got Game as
Oh.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Ray Allen.
I've never
Academy
seen either
Award.
one. Never seen either one.
Academy Award for Ray, what he did
I'll
with
take
Denzel.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a collector's item. His
Stone Cold
jersey.
all day. All day.
I'll take Stone Cold too. He infiltrated a bicycle gang. Like, how dangerous was that? He infiltrated the Chains Cooper was dangerous.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Let's talk basketball. Big Blue report coming to you from the commish. Has UConn played any basketball games, commish?
UConn is 10-0, the first 10-0 team in the country right now, undefeated, coming off last night's victory over Florida. Didn't think they played great. Donovan was fantastic. Listen, the Huskies are way far ahead of where I thought they'd be at this point.
Fifth in the country now.
Fifth in the country, behind
Skyrocketed, right?
Skyrocketed, yeah. Purdue's 4, Virginia's 3, Texas is 2, and number 1 is Houston. Really, the Huskies, I think they're 5 is legit. I'm loving what we're seeing from Hawkins. I'm loving what Donovan's doing. I'm loving what Snogo's doing.
Complete team, commish,
Complete
right?
team. I'll tell you what, Calcaterra,
Yep.
he has been the most pleasant surprise to me because I didn't think we'd get much.
Tough too.
Caravan's
Yeah.
tough. I don't like the guards though, guys. They worry me. Tristan Newton last night I think he had more turnovers than assists. Aline, not feeling him.
Yeah. But
Diarra,
put
he's
that jumper
tough,
away.
but oh god. And I love Jackson too. Like he does do a lot of good things, but
He's
I'm
a
saying
wild man.
Final Four if we can get there. I'm obviously putting the cart before the horse, but Andre Jackson, the ball in his hands, passing it to Tristan Newton, shot clock winding down. What's going to happen?
I know, we've talked about this before. Imagine if Jackson had a jump shot with the way he could defend and the things he can do in the open floor. Boy,
He the energy he brings
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
he's that
It really is.
intangible guy. Like everybody was waiting to see when they went through this little gauntlet, this 5 game, the Iowa States, the Florida, the Oak States. I think they've impressed, and if they don't get to at least an Elite Eight, I would be disappointed at this point.
I can't-
Yeah,
well,
I'm
well,
saying
that's
it.
Remember we were
Jackson-
talking.
I'm saying it.
2
Right.
weeks ago. that-
Win
yeah,
2 games,
yeah.
right? Or try to get the
Nah,
second
I
game.
want to get to. I want more than 2 wins.
Jackson or McConnell?
Jackson.
Really?
He does so much stuff for that team.
Donfather?
Needs a jumper.
He does. I don't think he's gonna. You know, I was thinking about not to cut you off, Don Father, but the guards. These are transfers.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to get much better. We're seeing what they're going to do. They're going to get a little bit
Yeah,
better. Their window is
I agree.
kind of closed. That's what worries me.
Does Hawkins get better by the end of the year? 'Cause
He
I
does,
think
definitely.
that's a
Yes,
big key.
I think so. I mean, the way he shoots the ball, the way he's
NBA
curling
player,
them,
right?
he's
You
definitely
got
an
to be
NBA
more
player.
consistent, though.
I mean, he's got a pure shot. When have we seen a shot like that in the last 10 years?
Not at UConn.
No, you can.
All right, moving on to the Rutgers report. Since we last were here, improved to 5-1 with a win over Central Connecticut. Return of Caleb McConnell. Dropped to 5-2 with a loss at Miami. Tough game. Caleb finally, I think he might have played one of his best games as a Scarlet Knight. Him and Cliffy both with 16, a disappointing loss. Came back with a big win over Indiana.
That was a huge
6 in a
top
row
10
over
team.
Indiana. Number 10, Indiana. Caleb with 16 again. Cliff saddled with foul trouble, or if you want to just call it the horrific Big Ten officiating. Just kidding. He really breathed too hard on the Hoosiers and got 2 early ones. Paul returned, and he was able to stay healthy. I was worried about all his dancing during the timeouts. I didn't want him to pull a groin or something like that, but he was able to stay healthy, and he got back true to form, dropping dimes for buckets. And the real story was the kid, the freshman, Derek Simpson, 14 points against the Hoosiers, 9 or 10 in a row.
I
at
think
one
it was
point.
10 in a row, yeah.
10 in a row, crunch time. Just so you know, there are 2 losses. He had 4 against Temple in 33 minutes, and he had 2 against Miami. So when that freshman goes, that is an athletic, tough team. And as we speak, they're playing the Ohio State Buckeyes right now, another ranked
Tie
team.
score with 2.5 minutes left.
Let's go Knights.
Bobby Mack, I know we're biased, everybody here. You go down to Miami, you lose a heartbreak. You're up 12 right in the second half. Coach Pico gets game plans Indiana to death, and that's a team that's got some talent and some NBA talent. And Indiana scores 49 points at Rutgers, and Coach Pico, whatever, he had a couple days to prepare, and they looked like it was men against boys. To hold that team to 49 points.
The Hoosier team that had a chip on their shoulder
Yes.
because they'd already lost 5 in a row to the Knights.
And that's coaching. Like, you got to get past that game in Miami. You get your team ready, and they were ready to play. And like you said, I think it was 33-33 at one point, and the freshmen went on a 10-0 run and put that game on ice.
That's a huge win going into the new year too. You got to get a couple of those. Hopefully, get Ohio State tonight.
Yeah, the conference is tough. Boeheim mouthing off about it. All right, we're moving on. Well, let's go to football. It's this coming week is the last regular season week in many of your fantasy leagues. Games starting tonight with a terrible game. Nobody has to worry about it. Adams will get you your points. Blah blah blah. Is Jacobs playing?
Yeah.
He is.
Okay, and then there are a few leagues which, with the extra week in the NFL, will extend a little bit. The Don Father and I are in one that goes to week 17. Don Father, yep. None other than the Don Father, chomping at the bit to talk fantasy football after a 2-week hiatus.
It is good to be back, and folks, we got to start with the dumpster fire of the week. I got asked this as we were watching the games on Sunday. Who's going to be your dumpster fire of the week? It is going to be the Indianapolis Colts this week. I mean, to get annihilated by the lowly Dallas Cowboys is just terrible. Down 2 with 13 minutes left, and then they gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Then they had the ball at the end of the first half with a chance to cut it to 1 score.
To that pretender, I mean, come on. It was painful to watch them give up that many points to the Cowboys. I mean, really bad. Again, why was Jonathan Taylor out for a quarter, then all of a sudden he's getting carries with 3 minutes left in the game, they're down by 30 points? What's the answer? He's on Jeff Saturday's fantasy football team. They laugh. That is a fact.
No way. That shouldn't be legal.
Eric Decker is now managing Jeff Saturday's fantasy football team. Jonathan Taylor is on his roster. That is an absolute fact. It's funny. I'm sure that's not why it happened, but he had to give up his management of his team Eric Decker,
Yeah, I'm
the
sure,
former
he's,
receiver.
I'm sure he's following that.
Runs that. So just thought that was a pretty funny note. The other runner-up for dumpster fire of the week, folks, was Denver. Denver Broncos, and no touchdowns again against the Ravens. They're just a painful team to watch.
Is he done?
Every week.
Is Russell Wilson done?
I mean, $250 million says no, right? Nobody's going to take him.
Yeah, but is his career this is it?
Is he going to be good again? I don't think so. News and notes, folks.
Pete Carroll knew something, huh?
I can't stand the guy, but it was a beautiful trade, executed perfectly. 6 teams on bye this week. Another thumbs up for the NFL's awful scheduling with
awful is right.
No teams on bye, 2 teams on bye, now 6 teams on bye in week 14. I mean, it's just, fantasy is pretty relevant too. Atlanta, really nobody that relevant, but Chicago with Justin Fields. Green Bay has a few guys who are going to play. I mean, the Colts have Jonathan Taylor and Pittman. The Saints, Kamara, and the Commanders. That's it. I mean, that's 6 teams on bye, so guys are kind of scrambling. As Mac mentioned, it's playoff time. You're going to win and be in probably this week. So, get your lineups in. Desmond Ridder, by the way, now going to be starting for Atlanta for Marcus Mariota. It's about time. It's kind of funny, the Falcons are only a game and a half out of the lead in their division, but they benched Marcus Mariota and for the rookie Desmond Ridder, so we'll see what happens for them. And again, Mr. Irrelevant, going to be the quarterback for the Super Bowl contending San Francisco 49ers. Mr. Purdy, Iowa State. He's now the starting quarterback for a Super Bowl contending team. Hey, last guy in the draft. Loddy, you'll love this. Your boy Baker, right? He may be starting for the Rams as we speak right now. He may be the starting quarterback.
Guy's career is over after this year, right?
Why are the Rams tanking? They don't even keep their pick next year. I don't understand why they're putting Baker Mayfield in the lineup. Their pick's going to Detroit, if you didn't know that. So, go Lions. I mean, that's just a trade that's working out beautifully for them. And it worked out for the Rams. They got their Super Bowl.
Yep.
Hey, a couple quick notes. I'm going to give some shout-out to Angry Jay. So, Jalen Hurts, by the way, he's the second game this year with at least 3 deep touchdowns. That's 20 air yards, 20 yards in the air. Second time this season in a game. Only the second player since 2016 to do that in a season. Who's the other person? 3 touchdowns of 20 air yards or more in a game twice in a year. 2016 was the last person to do it.
Big Ben?
Wow. Ding, ding. Loddy, that was impressive.
There's our Steeler comment for the day.
That was impressive.
Where are you?
It was a ding-ding?
That one was for you. Get your terrible towel out.
Another little, I'll throw a little nugget in here. Another trivia question since we're rolling. Devontae Adams, by the way, he caught his 84th and 85th touchdowns this week. He's the 5th most touchdowns in his first 9 seasons as a receiver. Obviously, we're going to throw out Jerry Rice as number 1 and Moss as number 2. Who are the other 2 that are ahead of Devontae Adams? Most touchdowns in their first 9 seasons. By the way, Rice had 118. Moss had 101. Adams now has 85 with a couple games left.
Based on a past question, Evans?
Nope. He was yards. 1,000 yards.
Des Bryant.
How about T.O.?
T.O. was 4th. He has 95. So who's the last guy?
Chris Carter?
Chris Carter. No? That's a good guess.
He more kind of tailed at the end, right? Got a little stronger as he went along, Carter.
One hint, please.
His son's playing in the CFP.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. His son plays for
Yeah,
House.
people don't even think about Marvin Harrison when you start talking about guys that just put up wicked stats,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know why he's so good. I don't know why he gets overlooked. Where did he go to school again?
Who do you play with? Who's the quarterback?
Upstate New York.
Did Boeheim coach him? Not sure.
They play the zone, that's for sure.
By the way, I was with a few of these folks on Sunday watching some NFL football. I saw some pretty cool stats. Not trivia questions. I'm going to throw them out because I thought some of them were funny. So it says Carson Wentz still has more passing touchdowns than Russell Wilson this season. Little stat you can throw out there. He hasn't played since week 6. Still has more touchdowns than Russell Wilson. Another stat. Broncos would be 9-1 if they scored 18 points in every regulation game.
I saw that. That's crazy.
Nice job, Russ.
That locker room must...
Stay hot, Russ.
Yeah, that locker room is not happy.
Last one over
Did
out there.
Cashman bring him to Denver?
I showed this to some of the guys on Sunday. If Jacoby Brissett dropped back and threw his next 200 passes into Lake Erie, he would still have a higher passer rating than Baker Mayfield this year. That is fact.
Godfather, I got one for you. Tyler Olander has more national championships than Jim Byham.
Who's that?
Tyler Olander.
Kevin Ollie has more championships than Eddie Sutton or John Chaney. Is he a better coach? I don't think so.
Wow,
probably.
Godfather had that ready to go, too. You were sitting on that
We
one.
worked on that.
I did.
Oh, that was pre-production? You guys had that figured out?
We text all the time.
Yeah.
Meriden boys. Quick start him, sit him, guys, going into this week. Again, it's important. QBs, you want to start Goff. He's playing against Minnesota. Minnesota is not good against the pass. They're actually pretty bad against the pass. And by the way, the fact that Detroit's favored against the Vikings, it's something fishy about that. So put Jared Goff in your lineup. He's going to have a good week. Trevor Lawrence got knocked out for a little while. Tough start last week. Tennessee, by the way, allows 10 points more to fantasy quarterbacks than the average NFL team. So take the average, and they allow 10 points more a game. So Trevor Lawrence looks good. Bench Daniel Jones. Painful for me to say it, Jay, but bench Jones against Philly. Philly is really good against quarterbacks. Jones, by the way, is a top 10 fantasy quarterback for the season. He's number 10.
Wow.
But don't play him against the Eagles this weekend. And bench Deshaun. I mean, I would bench him every week for any reason. But he did not look like he was playing
He looked
good
terrible.
football. He was throwing balls into the ground like he looked like Cam Newton did his last year or two in the league. Keep him away. Running backs, start Marcus Pollard. We already talked about him tonight. He's playing against Houston. Houston's really good against wide receivers, but they're really bad against the run. They're 28th against the run, number 2 against wide receivers.
Tony Pollard.
I say Marcus. He's a tight end, but he was.
So
Anyways,
which one are you starting at running back?
I would
The tight
start
end or
the running back against Houston.
So start the running back at running back?
Flyer, by the way, start Jeff Wilson Jr. He had a bad week, but I think he's going to be back in the coach's good graces. Chargers cannot stop the run, so look for Wilson. And start Pacheco, Isaac Pacheco. Game script is going to give him a lot of carries this week. Pacheco.
He's been good lately.
He's been scoring every week. It's going to be his 3rd week in a row. He's going to hit the end zone this week. Pacheco, so start him against the Broncos. Broncos aren't bad,
Breaking news. Nimmo back to the Mets, 8 years at 162.
All right.
$20 million a year, huh?
All right.
Yep. Sorry, Don Father. Go ahead.
Breaking news is huge. All right, wide receivers. Oh, actually, just sit him, by the way. Sit James Conner against the Patriots. Nobody can run against him. Our last cast, I told you to sit Dalvin Cook. Yep. First-round draft pick, told you to sit him. He had 40 yards and 7 fantasy points that week. So you're welcome for anybody who listened, which I'm sure nobody did because Dalvin Cook's a first-round draft pick. Sit any Bucks running backs, by the way. Moving on to receivers, folks. Start Amon-Ra. He's been on a tear. He's playing against Detroit. They can't stop anything. So play Amon-Ra and start Keenan Allen this week against Miami. They're going to have to throw because the Dolphins are going to score. Allen is still Herbert's red zone threat.
Can Mike Williams play a game?
I think he's out again.
Jesus.
I think he's out again. And they're right in that cusp of getting a wild card spot. So they got to roll him out, but he's not going to play this weekend. I think it's going to be Josh Palmer moving the change and Keenan Allen getting the red zone catches. And I would start Keenan Allen. I mean, Cincinnati cannot beat the Browns. Joe Burrow's never beaten the Browns yet, which is crazy. But T. Higgins is going to have a good week, I think. I'd sit Brandon Ayuk, Tampa Bay. Again, Mr. Irrelevant's the quarterback. A lot of dink and dunk. Debo might have a good week. I think McCaffrey is going to catch about 8 passes this week again. But I don't think you're going to throw to Ayuk because he throws the ball down the field a little too much.
Is San Fran in big trouble?
No.
No.
I think their division's so bad, they're going to win the division. Do I think they can make a Super Bowl? I don't think they can beat a team like Philly with Purdy or Dallas with Purdy at quarterback.
Yeah, that's my big question.
I think everybody else they can beat in the NFC. They'd get annihilated in the AFC, in my opinion.
I thought they legitimately might be the best team before.
I think they have the best defense still, but if they're going to be on the
way
field,
they run the ball, but those guys that like McCaffrey and Debo and even Ayuk, I love him. What those guys run when they catch the ball, they got
to be able to hold the ball, right? The defense can't be on the field 40 minutes a game. They're going to start acting like Jalen Ramsey and the Rams, so they got to be on the field the whole time. Sit Juju, by the way, struggle bus, and he's going to go and Surtain. He's not going to get a lot of action. Ever since his concussion, he hasn't been effective when he came back. Last picks, folks, tight ends. Start Greg Dulcich. I love him against the Chiefs. Again, game script's going to make them throw. And also Hunter Henry against Arizona. Arizona is 31st when it comes to defending against tight ends. And Mac, we got to get into our picks, right?
All right, moving into the pick segment. Hold on. Hot press here. Loddy, what are you saying? What happened?
I already reported it. The Nimmo one?
Oh.
Did it.
Did the Rutgers game go final?
5 seconds left.
No.
Oh, we got 5 seconds. We got nothing to report yet.
We got 5 seconds.
Okay,
Here we go.
this last pick segment brought to you by Skygazer. I'm going to go first, and I'm taking the Chiefs, even though it's a division game, giving a ton of points on the road, but the Broncos are terrible. I'm disgusted with Russ Wilson. He's a phony. It took us this long to figure it out, but Carroll carried him. I'm thinking Mahomes and the boys put up about 50. Take the Chiefs, giving up 9.
I talked to you guys beforehand. I'm a little confused by the line. Minnesota's getting 2 at Detroit. I'm taking Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I unless I'm missing something, I'm going Minnesota +2.
I've been thinking this thing up. I think I lost a couple weeks ago on the last play of the game with the Giants-Cowboys. I have no confidence in this, so if you're a betting person, don't actually take it. But I'm going to take the Bucks +3.5 at San Fran. I'm not convinced that the Bucks win the game, but I'll take the 3.5, especially with Purdy starting for the 49ers this week.
I'm going to take Houston getting 17.5 points.
That's a big
lot
number.
of points.
That's a big number.
And be wary of those half points. Houston getting 17.5.
Kamish going Houston, biggest line of the year. And Don Father is going to wrap up taking the Panthers +3.5 at Seattle. Little fishy. They should probably be getting at least 5-6 points, but they're not. So going to Carolina +3.5, Mac.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Cash stayed hot. Hal stayed hot. Judge is the hottest. You got all that money. Looking forward to coming back next week. Looking for the Huskies and the Scarlet Knights to keep surging forward. Thanks for joining us. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. Want to thank executive producer Mark Melvin Schmavis and the round mountain sound AJ Bennell. Thanks everybody.